All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Mashiach, some call Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yashayah. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. Brother Feeney is here. We just doing a reaction to a couple of videos. Been going back and forth between IUIC and ISUPK, and also the Israelite Camp Genesis has jumped in to stir the pot. Start calling these brews the YBs. They stirring up this pot, trying to keep this fire going. Slick taking shots. But we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it on today. Let's go ahead and just get into it, man. I ain't even finna playing. I ain't finna be all day with this. Let's go ahead and get into it.
I sit here all night and listen to your story if you're up for it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm if you want to be particular, I'm particular.
I'm gonna say too, ISUPK, this wasn't a good look. This is bad PR. This wasn't a good look. Y'all too isolated within your circle, I guess, to even know like this is just not a good look for an organization. Deacon Asaph is gonna address it. To have your leadership send up here just listen to gossip from someone who just been kicked out of another organization. It looks bad. It looks desperate.
Interested in the rumor of
when you could be teaching your brother. You got a whole, you got your school up there. Brothers are tuned in. I guess they're supposed to hear a class, and they're hearing about, about some other brothers. You spent the class talking about some rumors, trying to get some details on another group of people. That's really what this was. It was trying to get some details. Well, what are they doing, and how do they do this, and what do they do? And it's so crazy that they may start sending people over there. I wouldn't be surprised if they send a member from ISUPK. He really a ISUPK member, but he done went into IUIC and done went through the whole like an undercover agent, trying to see what's going on, and maybe even vice versa.
Of this whole handmaid thing, and how and what this is, and how sisters are treated in that process.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't call it a handmaid.
And I clipped it right there because he's trying to reach for something about some handmaids. A lot of what I seen was ISUPK, they teach polygamy. I don't know why y'all play with that word, but and then of course IUIC doesn't, and they want to show that IUIC y'all still be sleeping around, so you might as well do. And it's like, why even try to prove yourself? I don't understand that. I don't understand that about those who practice polygyny. Then you just live your truth. Why spend so much energy trying to prove it? Like I don't teach it. I don't agree with it, but why spend so much energy trying to prove it to people who don't agree with it, to a whole organization that doesn't agree with it? Why are you trying to convince them and say, well, see, this is why we do it, because y'all over there, y'all still, sleeping around and fornicating. You could have just made that your other wife. And y'all over there and then he wanted to find something about the handmaids. And say, well, y'all handmaids, y'all got handmaids, y'all doing this little handmaid but it's like, bro, and that's what I'm saying about living your, if you in polygyny or polygamy, live it up. Just live your truth, bro. If it was me, I'm living it all out. What you mean? Y'all up here talking about, well, you can't. I'm saying, brother, be talking about, well, you can't. You got to have them in different houses. Who said that? Well, you can't sleep in the bed with them at the same time. Why not? Where y'all getting that from? Well, I can't have all my wives in the same bed. We just have, the bed undefiled. What Like, where are we gleaning that from? Where y'all gleaning that from? Somebody hit the comments. Some of my polygamous brothers, hit the comment. Where y'all gleaning? You can't sleep with them at the same time. What else they say? Then you talking about the handmaidens. Who said you can't have handmaidens? Who said you can't have, I seen one of the ISUPK video said, oh, this Israelite group, they got side pieces. What you mean, bro? You teach polygamy. Polygyny. Y'all can have concubines. What you mean? You can't teach polygyny and then say, oh, no, you can't have concubines. Well, that come with it. The handmaidens come with it. And then if she wants your handmaiden, if she want to, do that, Sarah, and give you your handmaiden, then you can sleep with the handmaiden. But see, y'all like to quiet all that down, say, no, we can't do that, and we can't do that. You want to take little pieces of it. You got to eat the whole roll. And teach the whole roll. Just don't teach multiple wives. No, teach the concubines. Teach the handmaidens also. Teach all of it. Put all of it out there. Prostitution, a lot of, and it's only really one group that I see that will sit on prostitution and be like, well, show me the law. Well, I can't have a prostitute. Our brother forefather Judah, he went and slept with a prostitute. And that's what we did back in the times. They had laws in there for prostitutes. Just told you not to prostitute your daughter, but that don't mean I can't have no prostitute. Eat the whole roll, man. Stand on that. You got to sit up there and try to chip it down and make it sound reasonable. Especially to try to make it sound reasonable, somebody don't even deal with it. But y'all, that's just kind of crazy for y'all to try to point the finger at, and you in polygyny with multiple wives, and then try to point the finger and say, well, you can't have handmaidens, and y'all having a little side piece, bro. That come with it. All that come with that doctrine. Y'all just don't want to teach it. There's very few that teach it. Very few polygyny, brothers that teach that whole role. It's only a few that I've heard. I know Pastor Dow said something about some concubines. He won GMS won. I ain't heard nobody else. Y'all put in the comments a class, and we know maybe 90% of Israelite camps teach polygyny. Maybe 85, 90%. See if you got a class. Find me a class on concubines. Show me a class on handmaidens. Let me let this thing continue.
And so forth. And they also claim only having one wife. So I was really confused on the matter. How you want me to have your baby and you're married to so-and-so? So I moved very slowly. And I really think because I never made a decision, and plus I never bear the child, they became very careless of me. I really feel like if you're not a wife, you're not really cared for.
And you may or may not have an intimate relationship with it.
Right.
So there are sisters, so I can get it right. There are sisters that are assigned to a house with a man and his wife.
Right.
Who she does not have an intimate relationship with that man. Hopefully she doesn't have an intimate relationship with the woman either. Right. I'm just saying. And her money goes to that house. Isn't that the essence of slavery?
How that's slavery? How you get slavery out of that? And I'm trying to figure that out myself. If that's something that's going on, who knows? They would have to speak on that. I didn't watch all of Deacon Asaph's video. If maybe he addressed that. But I do know from what I've heard, that people get moved around for missionary purposes. If they're starting a school in another state, some of that leadership can get moved around. Once you become into the leadership, and you sign up for that men of valor and leadership stuff, they can tell you, hey man, you need to move over here, and you need to move here. You may end up moving with somebody until you get established, etc. Maybe it's something like that she's talking about, but I do know they moved like that in order to establish all of these different schools.
Mm.
I mean, she's giving her labor is going to that house, and she has no guarantee of any return or any guarantee of marriage or any guarantee of children. Am I right?
Well, if you show good faith, of course, good standing, and if you are in good standing, you could be offered to prove a spouse on your own. But you have to, of course, be righteous. Um,
And everything he's trying to, most of the stuff he's trying to imply, she kind of like, nah, even though she's mad at IUIC, she's really upset with him. But she, it doesn't seem like she just finna just blatantly lie to the, seems like she still has a little spirit on her where she just not gonna just blatantly lie, but she's probably withholding some things, but she ain't just finna just. She could have just went all in on brothers, but don't seem like she's doing that.
you have to be involved in the congregation, pay your tithes, of course, follow the commandments. But like, I want to say my position, because I can't really explain anybody else's. When I was coming in, it was, I want to say they were kind of like it was desperate. I even know some women who were like okay with it, long it's their husband's glory, long as he's satisfied. Um, Especially when it became to the older ones. Long as he's satisfied, and long as you know something's coming in, they're good. They're okay with it.
Let me.
I don't know where to really take from that. It was kind of, I don't know. It's kind of all over the place. Saying what the husband's okay and da 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 da. Some money is coming in to help with the household. Maybe some chores are shared a little bit while that individual is staying there. But there isn't supposed to be any kind of sexual interaction. Seems like.
Let me ask you this: is that the reason for the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement?
I don't. Oh, what's that? I mean,
you okay? Okay, we heard that they were issuing non-disclosure agreements to everyone that joined their.
He's just trying to find what's going on over there. What's going on inside of that organization? Me, I'm the exact opposite. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I do not want to see. I'm afraid to see. Because I know if I see, I'm going to say something. I ain't just going to see and not say nothing. I'm going to say something.
Organization. So is that just a rumor? Probably.
I mean, I remember when I did join, I was on the line with deacons, captains, and bishops. I think it was a virtual signature.
Okay, so you virtually signed.
Yeah.
The NDA.
Yes.
Okay. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Wow. And so is the.
Let me ask y'all this: is NDAs too far? Is an NDA too far? in community living, in camps and organization and churches. A lot of churches sign when you work for the church, a lot of them have to sign NDAs at the church. A lot of the musicians have to sign NDAs. Associate pastors have to sign NDAs. A lot of people that's dealing with these mega churches sign NDAs.
True.
Is an NDA going too far? That when you leave this organization, you can't be talking about what was going on here and da 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 da. Evidently, the NDA don't mean nothing if she's up here, doing all this talking to him, and knowing that ISUPK, has a animosity, that they abhor their brothers IUIC.
That and let me just say this, right? We're not here to. Oh, let me just tell the truth. We here to down IUIC.
It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look.
Put that picture up that I send you of that woman, because this.
Now this is IUIC's response. Again, you can go to, I think it was on Captain Tazaryak TV, where ISUPK side was aired, Deacon Asaph for IUIC side.
Would have been fine when we addressed it before. When we put her out, we didn't say her name. She went to a video. She went to the place that's supposed to be home of the truth to go and discuss us. So now we got to discuss it. Okay, this was weeks ago. We would have left it alone and we would have moved on. But
hold on, I didn't even peep that before. Shalom from Trinidad. Shalom Deacon. Great points earlier. Okay, no, that ain't got nothing to do with the situation.
Okay, this was weeks ago. We would have left it alone and we would have moved on. But because you women don't know how to shut your big mouths and y'all gossip so much, now we have to discuss it. This woman was put out of Israel United in Christ because she made up in her head some delusion that she was in a relationship with one of the young boys with us that never even met her. She just started messaging on our message system we have. She saw his picture, started messaging him and making up things that she's in a relationship with him.
And that's the thing too about them, you want to get everybody in the group chat, you don't want to have the men separated from the women. You put them all in the group chat. Brothers will write them numbers down and start sending them messages unawares. And you say, well, everybody's grown and, everybody can just, and, if you supposed to be watching the flock, do you just let the flock just go out there and just do their own thing like that, or do you want, and I wish it could work. I wish that we were grown enough spiritually, that we were perfected enough spiritually to handle something like, but we not, man. We just have to be, we gotta be 100. We're just not. We're not. And brothers will sleep with sisters and then regret what they did. Y'all know how we are. Me and you know how we are. Once we touch that monkey, then we like, man, I shouldn't have did. Now you get not. You talking about forever now? Like, man, I shouldn't have did that. And then brother be like, nah. And then this sister like, oh no. Low, nah. He ain't finna do that. I'm finna go to leadership. Hey, so-and-so just did blah, 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 blah. And you like, when did this happen? What are y'all doing? And then it comes there. And see, if it's going to be like that, then it be like y'all handle that situation. But when it's got to come back to leadership, and then leadership, you expect leadership to have to do something. No way, I'm going to put the brother out. or rebuke the brother and put him out. To I know in some situations brothers get put out to Day of Atonement. Then brother is forgiven, but it's like, man, you have to deal this stuff you had to deal with. You don't think you have to, man, stuff you have to deal with, man. It's just things you have to deal with, and you can give people that access, and you don't know how these people are, and you don't know what they can handle. Yeah, they can come to class and they can run off some good verses and they know they precepts, and they got the attire, but some things may be that flesh may be too, they get in front of some females or some sisters and they just lose it. Excuse me, y'all. They just end up losing it, man, and can't control themselves. And that's one of the reasons there's so many camps. That's one of the main reasons. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the main reasons that there are so many camps. Those situations end up happening. People can't accept judgment. They go off and say, well, you know what, I'm going to start my own camp. That's usually the makeup. If I had to put a number, maybe 65% of the time, it's some kind of sin dealing with some sisters. A brother done went in on a sister, or a brother done tried to go at another brother's wife. That's another thing too with the whole with some of these groups that do polygamy. There ain't enough women in some of these groups that do polygyny. It ain't enough women, and jokers end up trying to sleep with your woman, with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Leader be trying to court your wife because it ain't enough of them around. But then on the other end, it's vice versa, where it's too many women around. You only you're not practicing polygyny. There's so many women around that women try to sleep with men's wife, with other women's husbands. And they end up, and from what he's saying and what he's alleging is that the sister sent a message. She in that group chat, and it jumped on her. Because it's not enough. It's only so many men there, and probably a great number of women. And it jumped on her, and she just like, I gotta shoot my shot, man. I'm getting up there in age. I gotta shoot my shot at one of these little young jokers, man. And she starts sending the messages. I can't help myself. I need you. And I don't. Why would he lie? And she kind of admitted that some messages were sent out that she thought that was kind of gonna be private and da 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 da. But man, you on their messaging system, you better guarantee they're monitoring that. And I've had some ex IUIC members, and it was like, man, you had the girl. She's like, man, you got to put somebody there to monitor. You got to put somebody there to monitor, and I ain't, I'm like, nah, man, you better put somebody there to monitor, man. Or it's gonna become, because that's what you think they interacting for. What you think they're interacting for? Well, sister calling, hey man, I need what's the breakdown for? Man, please don't get And there's a halakha offense law where I remember brother was telling me, I never forgot him. He was like, man, you should never be one-on-one with no sister. There will not ever be one-on-one with a sister or a child. If it ain't your child, you should not be one-on-one with that child. You should not be one-on-one with nobody's with no female. All right, so it's never no allegation. You always need a witness.
Young man, type back. Look, you need to speak to your leadership if you want a husband. I'm young.
And see, so many people starting camps and stuff, and you're not understanding this, man. It's a lot of legislation that needs to be in play. And I've had to learn these things over the years, and they costly mistakes that you have to learn and that you end up having to deal with. It's like, oh man, why you? But at the same time, you can't stop nobody from doing what they want to do, and that flesh get a hold of them. But you're just putting certain precautions in, man. I had somebody break into my storage unit, and he was putting I was talking to the dude, and he was putting another lock on it, and I'm like, oh man, they can just break it. That ain't gonna stop them. I'm thinking he finna put something a little more secure. He putting the same thing on them. I'm saying, oh, so they can just break in all of these. He was like, yeah. He said these locks are just here to stop an honest man. So really, you're putting these precautions in to stop somebody that's honest, to stop a righteous man. That he may not fall. You putting these fence laws, but a wolf, nah, there ain't nothing gonna stop no wolf. He gonna sneak and geek. He gonna find out how to get that number low key, how to shoot his shot, and be in these sisters' inboxes, and sisters also are gonna be pulling up and be low key and try to find and finesse their way into these situations, onto these one-on-ones. Give me that breakdown, brother. So you gotta be mindful. Be mindful of that. It's one thing, doing stuff online, but when you on that day-to-day, man, you gotta watch these sisters, boy. They be plotting, and Jake be plotting. That's just, that's nature. And that's why you have to mortify that thing, man. But anyway, let me let this thing play.
I'm little. I'm not even in your age range. Why are you texting me and talking about you're coming for me? And you 40-something, almost 50 years old. Okay? We put her out, and what does she do? She goes to ISUPK, sits down with their top leader. That shows you there's no organization. You're not reaching our top leader. There's so many levels of order and structure in the way we do things. You're not going to have our top leader sit down with a woman that obviously has mental issues and let her tell her stories, and the bishop is swinging his legs on the chair like, I'm so happy to speak with you. Bro,
it's just sickening to them. Like a lot of Israel just don't know that, all of these brothers was in the same, these brothers they were in the same movement together. They was all at once a time, they were in the same camp. And now they've branched off, and now they're in competition. They trying to see who gonna build a bigger camp and all of this, and then, Bishop Nathaniel end up having a great movement. All right, building a great organization, a mighty organization, that we haven't seen since that ICJC, since that brother who was calling himself the Comforter. You haven't seen it since him. And Ak is salty, man. That's what it gives off. Gives off brothers is salty and covetous and jealous, man. It gives off jealousy, y'all.
Oh, that's terrible, man. That is terrible. I send you other images on her page. I want to see them here first before you put them up. Put them here on the screen first. Y'all need to know what y'all dealing with. Y'all people are crazy. We don't put no trust in you. You dudes are black Hebrew Israelites. Just like the white man say you are. You are exactly what they call you. You not in no truth. You don't keep no commandments, and you not in no truth. To be in the truth means you're keeping God's laws. You guys do not display any attributes of someone in the truth keeping God's laws. You liars, you slanderers, you gossipers, you old bottles. How you got on your hat, you've been in the truth since 1969, and gossip and slander is on your mind. Something is wrong. You're not the dudes. Y'all are not the dudes. We're not putting no stock in you. Nobody's looking at you to deliver the truth to the people. This is her Facebook page. This is what she got on her Facebook page. Yes, I want that one. This grown woman is after a young man. He's been with us since his teenage years. Okay, so we treat him like our son. We got a grown old woman chasing after a little boy, and when she don't get her way, she goes to ISUPK to start slandering. And they ain't got no sense. How they reach your top man in your organization, and he's sitting now making a fool out of himself before the whole world.
And like I say, that's one of the, probably the only organization in Israel that I seen that they will announce. Yes, they blasted on all their social media. We kicked Deacon so-and-so out for fornication. We kicked him out. We kicked this sister out for fornication and adultery. We kicked so-and-so out. They put him on blast. They blast him in front of the whole congregation, and then they blast him and they put him out. Sister sent a message that they felt that was, that was inappropriate for her to be sending to a 20-year-old or a young man, that she can't control herself and da-da-da-da. He said they was kind of fearing that, she shouldn't be at the school. She may do something. Who knows? She may need to be on medic. Maybe they know something. I don't know. But they told her to watch from home, I think it said.
It and murdered my character.
Wow.
Without any thorough examination of a matter, they
the matter was examined,
humiliated me.
Malachi, and we saw that you need psychiatric help. You are lying on a man. The matter was examined before everybody. We got the text of you telling that man that you coming for him. And he was scared. He was nervous.
And our brother gonna go to leadership. You're gonna take that to leadership, look what that person tells, like Joker gonna snitch on you. You can't play with everybody. Can't tempt everybody. Some people don't play about that, man. Look what this sister just sent me. That sent me these inappropriate pictures and messages, and that's what the young brother should have did. How do y'all think that they should handle it? Do y'all think, hit the comments, do you think they handled it? They shouldn't have put the sister out? And really, let me just let it play and show you what they said.
We should have told him to take out a restraining order against you. Because only a nut job woman would start messaging a man out of nowhere and say, I can't control my feelings. I have to be with you. You usually get that from men. But I'm showing you how
the nut job thing might have been a little too far, but
crazy these women are now. The Lord is showing us where the craziness is coming from. Starting with that Gina Blue girl, now you. You women are nut jobs, man. Y'all crazy. You messaging a man that you never ever spoke to and you don't know, saying, I can't control my urge. I'm coming for you. And then when we address it and tell you, sister, your mind is not right. We don't feel safe with you. Watch at home. The first thing you do is call them up. And that's how a lot of you people are. You're watching them because you know that they hate us. You're not in the truth. The truth is to keep God's laws. Press play.
On.
Hold on, y'all. I'm missing a clip here. 1 second here. Let me see if I can find the proper clip. I thought I had it on there, but evidently I did not. I do have it here.
Now, Apostle Tahar, and we have some special.
Now we got the brothers from Genesis, our dear brothers. playing some old clips here with because they seen what was going on between the two. They took the opportunity, to take a shot like, hey man, why are you calling this bishop? Why you're alleging that the bishop is a homosexual? Why are you doing this? And it's so wrong for you to do this. And they're trying to stir up some things with that and try to get sounds like trying to get elders to heart in this thing. Hold on, let me move my picture so you can see them. And we'll let this thing fair use.
Now, Apostle Tahar, and we have some special. Should we tell him? I'm gonna tell him, but I'm not gonna say too much. We have some a special treat for you guys, Lord willing. We're gonna get some old footage of our elders from back then, and appreciate where we come from. All right, let's go.
Yeah, oh yeah. Just ask, all you got to do is ask Tahar, who is Motorcycle Man.
Now, Apostle Tahar, I know you're watching. Hi, Tahar.
Mhm.
You hate Nate. Let me take this off real quick. You hate Bishop. Let me tell you guys how to disprove ISUPK right now. Elder Apostle Tahar, you hate with every fiber of your being Bishop Nathaniel. But I've never heard you in all my years in this thing, my short years, say that he sleeps with men or anything alluding to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to know as a fourth witness, because we got three, we know he came up under you. We know he used to read for you. We want to know.
See, that's another beef, and that's why the leader of GMS, again, feel a certain way about Bishop Nathaniel because he used to read. Bishop Nathaniel used to read for him, used to be under him. And now he has the biggest camp, in Israel. I'm going to feel a little way about it.
Oh, Elder Apostle Tahar, if there's any merit to this, is there any evidence? Now, we know there was hearsay and drama and whisperings about, him possibly being effeminate or.
And I know it's Apostle Tahar going to end up taking the little bait and try to break it down and add his 2 cents. Man, leave it alone. I suggest IUIC don't even respond to it, to be honest.
Pretty boy. But we want to know, is there concrete evidence like the leaders of ISUPK are saying that Bishop Nathaniel sleeps with men and has been with a man before? Mm-hmm. So please, Elder Apostle Tahar, we need your.
And ISUPK don't care about, slandering him about saying he a homosexual. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care about no repercussions about that. They don't care nothing about that.
Assistance. We love you, and we know you got rich history from back then. So we need you to weigh in on this. Don't be scared of Johanna. We know you're not scared of Johanna. We know you guys were face to face about to blang him at one point. So what say you, brother?
Yeah, and what's going on, Elder Apostle Tahar? If I think his channel is GMS declaring the end, so either he'll make a video answering the question, but if you are watching, Elder, if you could just put yes, there is evidence that Bishop Nathaniel was a homosexual or is, or no, then we could add that to, because now you're in a unique position, Elder Apostle Tahar. You know what I mean? You got you've got a gun and 1 bullet. And you've got Nate in front of you, and you've got General Yohanan, Bishop Nathaniel in front of you, and you've got Commanding General. You only can get one of them. You can only shoot one. And no, you can't line them up together. You see what I'm saying? No. So who you shooting at?
You got 1 bullet, Elder. Right. You're gonna either kill Nate or you're gonna kill Yohanan.
See, that's like the triangle of. That little triangle of jealousy that's been here the last 20 years. It's kind of hindered the movement, really. And those 3 gonna have to eventually. It just ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna talk. You know, either Christ gonna come or they gonna die off. And then, you know, maybe the next group of leaders from those organizations may speak. But you have no chance with those three currently. No. No chance of reconciliation with those three. But y'all hit the comments, tell me what y'all think about this thing. Again, the YB, the Young Brews, they trying to stir the pot up, taking a little shot. They still, I feel like Genesis may still be, they want their lick back for that Captain Tazariak thing. They still ain't satisfied with that Captain Tazariak. They kind of want their lick back. You know, they still kind of slick shooting a shot with this video. But again, I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed, man. See y'all on the next one. Shalom.